What's going on YouTube? Tazz Flash here, and today I make my return to YouTube. First time in over a year. And I would like to show you guys some of what I've been up to. I've been prepping a little bit during my hiatus for my return, so I have plenty of stuff to do. Plenty of videos coming up. Today I'd like to show you guys some of the things that I would like to do on my channel. Such as the hat I'm wearing right now, made completely out of bandanas. I'm gonna take you guys out shopping one day and buy up a bunch of bandanas and bring you guys home and show you how to make various hats out of bandanas and recycled materials you can find around the home. This is literally just bandanas. It is a reversible. It is incomplete. It is going to be a fedora, but I haven't finished shaping it to be a fedora. Saving that for the video. Completely machine washable as much as a bandana is. And double, and sometimes in some areas triple and quadruple layered. This maybe took me 6 hours to make, which, considering you take control over your own style and pull yourself away from the conformist way of buying what society says we should wear, I tend to make my own shit out of stuff that society says that we should wear, because it's easier for me to be like, oh well, I like that sweatshirt and I like that vest and I like those pants, but I think it would do better as a onesie. I have done that. I have taken a vest and a pair of camo pants and a sweatshirt for the sleeves, and I have made my own onesie. It should be a much more later video. I already have a open top overall. I forget what you call them. The one with this kind of like suspender straps. And a vest, and this shirt I'm wearing here will be the sleeves for it. I have a whole outfit set aside to sew together as a video and show you guys how to piece multiple pieces of clothing together and create a one-piece unit like this. I'm having a little trouble organizing it to where I can show it to you guys, because it's my work outfit and I've been out in the yard building bike trailers, house trailers that pull behind the bike in this thing. I've been working pretty hard the past couple of weeks to get back on a routine and back on my projects and get my YouTube videos going again. So here we go. I think we're almost there. Let's zip this up. Okay. I have taken a hunting camo hat and some material from the vest I used to connect the hat to the top of the sweatshirt section. And I have the sweatshirt as the arms here as well. But I cut it all off right here, all the way down. All the way down. This zipper here that goes all the way down to the crotch is originally from the sweatshirt. I made this a 3 zipper zone. You have the main zipper on the inside. And then you have the 2 zippers I like to call aesthetic, because in actuality I could just cut all this material out and cut these 2 zippers off and this 1 zipper would do just fine. But as a survival outfit for if I ever have to live on the road again, I kind of thought it would be more secure to have the pants have its own zipper, the vest have its own zipper, and there to be a whole zipper that runs up the length of the opening. That way, if it's a hot day, I can connect the vest zipper together and open up the main zipper to this point to let air breathe in. So yeah, I took some bandana material and put it on the knee pockets to kind of accent the whole hippie tie-dye design that I have going for this. You'll see when I show you the back, because there's not a whole lot of that done on the front of it other than this homemade patch I made. I had a piece of rawhide and I cut out a circle of it and I sewed 2 pieces of bandana material onto it to create this patch. And then this patch is just bandana material cut out and sewed on 1 layer. But then you flip around the back here, and there's the matching tie-dye setup. Again, I took a piece of material from the vest and I sewed my name to it in tie-dye. Then I sewed it on here as 1 solid patch. And then I wanted to show off some redneck pride on the back of this, so this was also another sweatshirt that the zipper went bad on back when I was doing service for the streets out here. I beat the piss out of that sweatshirt. I would wear it all the time, constantly. So I don't like throwing away clothing just because I can't wear it anymore. I make it into clothing I can wear. Like, for example, the club vest. I couldn't exactly wear that anymore because it gives the wrong idea out to the streets that I'm out there when I'm out and about handling errands and everything, that I'm out there to service them, and I kind of stepped away from that because I was taken highly advantage of because of my kindness and who I am. So I kind of had to step away, and so I kind of didn't wear this vest for a while because the chapter in this city has kind of fallen away and is practically non-existent. So it's just easier not to have to explain that to everybody just because I'm wearing a club vest. It's because I've taken on the lifestyle, and it doesn't matter what the rest of the club does or if the club exists or not anymore. I am me, and part of who I am I owe to my life in the club. The whole survival end of it, the love for my bikes, the house trailer constructions that I'm doing that will eventually make their way onto this channel. Everything I'm doing with my life right now is on my heart because I was in the club and it changed me to who I am. So it's kind of hard, even with this state of confusion the club's in, to step outside of that state of mind, because it's now who I am. Club or not, that's who I am. So I've been taking all of my favorite clothing, whether it's ruined or not, and clubifying it, because I've grown so comfortable with this style. It's me now, and I can take a lot of my old styles and cut and paste, as you will, them together to make various items that fit that. Like, for example, this onesie here, because it's got tie-dye on it, and some of the tie-dye on it is from the same bandanas that are on this, and used in some of my other hats and other projects that I've done. Then a crate, like a little milk crate, that I just stuff all the material that I'm gonna cut up in, and whenever I trim some off of it, I throw the scraps back into the same bin, and next time I need to make something, I've got a plethora of fabrics that I can dig through for whatever I'm trying to do. Speaking of club stuff, this is kind of a club hat. The other one that my road dog is wearing is the actual club hat, but I've taken all my stuff off of it and transplanted it all onto one hat. So this hat has numerous things on it, not just club stuff. It's got my hatchet man from way back in the day. It's got my skull and bone pirate pendant that a club brother gave me. It's got my pendants all the way around it. I call them my pendants because they used to be on a leather jacket, but I would suppose they're not actually pendants. I wouldn't know what to call them. And then there's various things on this hat that represent things, or were given to me by people that are important in my life. And it's also got this braid on here all the way around. For one, I needed to make that to cradle the stone, the purifying stone. And two, I thought it would keep everything in a fairly straight line, because they like to shift and turn and whatnot, so I was hoping by putting that rope behind it that it would hold it in kind of the right position, but it doesn't. Give you a profile with me wearing this. If you follow me at all on social media, you've probably already seen most of the things I'm going to show you guys on this video today. But that's 2 down. Both of those hats have already been shown on my Facebook and my Instagram. Of both you can find me on Tazz Flash or through my email, tazzflasharts@gmail.com. I also have a version of Monkey Man or Caduceus Monkey on Instagram, but I believe that name is not Caduceus Monkey on Instagram. It is Monkey Man Moonchild. I have multiple different Instagrams, one for each of my Facebooks, which I have 2. One Facebook is for my hometown, my family, and people that don't live in the same state as me. And then the Tazz Flash is there to advertise me as an artist. It's there for the people here in this city that I live in, whatever city I currently live in. And it's also there to keep certain Facebook friends separate from each other. So I have 2 Instagrams for those accounts that are linked to those accounts, and then I have a Tazz Flash Instagram that is strictly my artist work. You can find that just by searching Tazz Flash on Instagram. And then I have my Guru Instagram, where I'm intending to only post things that revolve around my Guru life. My card setups, my shrines, my smudging station, any quotes or any artwork that I feel fits into a Guru sort of message. I'm beginning to learn that I need to make a separation between the different sectors of Tazz, I'll call it, because I am so many different things that it's kind of hard to market just one thing. So I'm treating it like marketing myself in categories. Moving on to some other work, I intend on getting my hands on some more rawhide so I can do more leather projects. There are quite a few things that I put leather on in the past couple of months because a buddy of mine, I won't say his real name, but Felix Phoenix 1, he'll be proud I mentioned him and that I didn't mention his real name. But he supplied this rawhide to me and I went nuts with it. I made a holster for my dab rig. I made this hat. I made this hat. I made a holster for my external hard drives, which I cannot mess with right now because it'll mess up the recording. Anyways, I went leather nuts because I already am leather nuts. I got more leather jackets than I can think of, and more than half of them are patched up and all Tazzified. So I will also be showing you guys how to take your old hats or unwanted hats because they got a sports team on it you don't care about, or they're lewd, or you just found it and it's crappy and all messed up. Well, you no longer have to just throw these into the earth and pollute our planet more. You can make these hats you can take a hat like so. I do not have any issue with this hat. I actually do use it sometimes, but I do actually have one issue with it. It's adjustable, and I used to be crazy about adjustables, and I still keep some of them around because I intend on growing my hair back out, and it really sucks not having an adjustable around when you have a ponytail. The ladies can most likely vouch for me on that. Some of the guys, sure, there's guys out there with long hair too, but it's always important for me personally to keep one or two of them around. But this one is going to actually become a project. I've been holding on to it because I want to use this one or this blue hat. I don't know where it is. It is also an adjustable, but it's a mesh hat on the back half and cloth on the front. I really don't like mesh hats. So that I decided to make that one into a project as well. And in the process, I will show you guys how I took a hat that was this camo base. Even this part was camo. And the back half of it was mesh. And I love the camo part of the hat, the front part of the hat, but I couldn't wear this thing. It was plastic mesh material, and it was not, it might as well not have been material. It was just like a net for the back of my head that had the snap straps on it, and so I never wore the hat. But now I do. I have this hat. It's a little oddly shaped because I played with the shapes of the sections. I didn't want this hat to be like a regular hat where it's triangled out on all 5 sectors or 4 sectors. Some hats are 5. But I wanted something to set this design apart from usual hats. Same thing with this one. I did this one up with basically the top of a fedora, and this was also a mesh hat that I liked, and I actually did wear a lot, but I knew if I redid it, I would wear it a lot more often and take more pride in it, and I do. These will most likely be the hats that I'll be wearing in my videos from now on, if I'm not wearing this, which has its own built-in hat, which I haven't actually decorated the hat section, the neck up section of that, so it will be a lot more like the rest of my projects. Like some of them aren't even fully complete. I still have to do some hemming here and there on some of these hats, but this is literally just a snapback hat that had mesh on the back half of it, and I didn't like it, so the mesh half of it. So I reconstructed it. It looks a little awkward when you're not wearing it, because this section of the hat wants to take its own shape, but once you throw it on, it's not that odd looking. And I wanted to keep the whole baseball cap appearance to it, so that right there is actually the cap from the original hat. Now I got my bicycle helmet that I was working on yesterday. I also showed this on my video this morning for my Caduceus Monkey PLNU channel. The PLNU stands for Peace, Love, and Unity. So all y'all immature little brats out there can keep your comments to yourself. But I've already shown this one off once on my other channel, but this is where it should have been debuted. This used to be a Viking helmet with big Grand Poobah spike horns coming out at the top of it. You can kind of see right there the remnants of where my club buddy carved off the spikes, because that's the part he wanted, and he wanted to throw this whole piece away. And I was like, no, you're not, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I will eventually do something with that. And he's like, okay, here, when I get the part of it that I want off, you can have the rest of it. Like a month later, after him obsessively like trying to get that's an exaggeration. I don't think it took him a month to get them off, y'all, but it seemed like it. When you know what you can do with the right tools, and then you see someone doing it with the wrong tools to almost no tools, which is, I'm not knocking them. You do what you got to do with what you got sometimes. Just knowing how much easier it would have been if we had a settling torch to pop the welds loose, or maybe a mini grinder to just cut it off and leave the bracket plates on there and just smooth it out, or something. Instead, he had to do it with survival knives and flathead screwdrivers and heating it up with dab torches, and I'm sure it took them like more like a week or two to a couple of days, not like a month, but for a fact it was amusing to say it that way. And then Phoenix Philip 1 also supplied this hat, which became part of my helmet. The most important part of the my bike helmet, because now I can actually wear it without having some ghetto wire. I had a charging cord that had like blue and green pattern cloth around the outside of it. It didn't work anymore, so I cut the ends off of it and I made a neck strap to put this down, but then it was really too big and uncomfortable because of no padding in the side. It's just metal. So I haven't been able to use this thing in almost year and a half that I've had this. And I've had this hat here for roughly 2-3 months now. And being spring/summer temperatures outside, I ain't been able to wear it. It's just too much of a winter hat for this time of year. But it's Colorado, so I predict before we even hit actual summer, it's gonna snow again. That's just how Fort Collins, Colorado is. But I want to show you the inside of this. I'm actually kind of proud of that, you know, how professional this turned out, how professional looking this turned out. The hat itself added the padding I needed, and the best part about this is I've been trying to make kind of a Fleet Commander bike helmet type concept, and this makes great for the winter version of that. I have somewhere, I'm not quite sure where, so it'll have to be another video. I have an actual bike helmet that I've attached headphones onto. The headphones don't actually work, it's just a concept, but it's closer to the concept that I'm trying to go for not winter, time of the month type helmet. But if you take into account that this sucker actually fits perfect just the way it is, this actually does wind up becoming my captain's my fleet captain's helmet. Take these $50-$60 gaming headphones that I bought from Walmart with the reversible strap. I was trying to go wireless, but all the Bluetooth headphones that have this swivel on it, I'm just too snooty. I just need it to be what I need it to be, and none of the Bluetooth style headphones with the mouthpiece mic work for me. They're not loud enough, or they're just not comfortable enough to slide a helmet over the top of. I have to take them apart to put them part of the helmet, and then they don't work no more like the other helmet I was just talking about. That's why those headphones don't work. They're the same style headphones, same company and everything, just a much older model, and they cut us short in the cord. So my buddy that hooked me up with the top piece of this, the Viking Helmet part of this, gave me those headphones because he couldn't get them to work. And I did have them working for a while. I kind of twisted up the cord. I found where the short was, and I twisted up the cord and tied it to stay in place. And for several months, they became the best computer headphones that I had ever owned. They had the USB converter, so you could plug the two in audio and mic plugs into this junction that also had the volume control on it, and was also a massively long cord extender, which I also loved because I could throw my headphones on and watch whatever on my computer, music, movies, whatever, and go to my microwave that's like 10 feet away from my bed over there and not miss a thing, not have to take my headphones off. This cord isn't quite long enough to do that, but it's long enough to go down the side of my face, through my belt loops, around my back, and to my pocket on this side, because I'm a right-handed, and that was why I thought I wasn't going to get along with these headphones, because the cord is on the wrong side for me. When I first got these headphones, I wasn't liking them because I had the crisscross cord across my chest plate underneath layers of Tazz gear, and it just made things more complicated to ride the bike with this cord going across my chest that stretches the cord. I was afraid it was going to cause shorts in the cord like the other pair of headphones like these, and then I realized, just making this too complicated for myself. Why worry about shorts in the cord, or the cord being too long and getting into the grind plate, the gear plate on my bike, getting caught up into the chain and shit. I've lost out on a lot of really good headphones that are corded just because of stuff like that. And I realized I could just run it through my belt loop on whatever pants I'm wearing and flip the cord over to the right side that way, because this cord is actually exactly as long as I need it to do so. But you put them on, you put this helmet on over the top of it, and it's exactly the concept minus the fog plexiglass shield that I want to, face shield that I want to put on it, which I don't think I'll be able to do because I've opted for more of a bill rather than slide down shield. I think I'm just gonna have to settle for one having a shield and one not having a shield. It takes a little finagling to get them on to where they're actually comfortable. But once you do, it's so perfect. There we go. And this just tucks up in there like it's not even there. It just belongs there. I couldn't be more happier with this. Looking at it on camera, it looks a little awkward, I will admit that, but for what it is is great. It doesn't matter if it looks a little awkward, as long as it keeps my head warm, keeps my head safe, and provides me a way to talk as I'm writing, or listen to music as I'm writing without having to deal with the distractions of the world. No, you shouldn't ride blind with your ears, so to speak. That's what I call it, riding blind with your ears. Privia works with not just visual but audio awareness. So I may get sideswiped someday for riding like that, but I got a stressful life, and sometimes it requires me going out there and putting my headphones on and just riding my bike and thinking through things. Do some of my best thinking while I'm either drawing, creating, riding my bike, or on the can. But who else doesn't do some of their best thinking on the can? Ba-da-ba! Yeah, that last part was just a joke. Then my main part of my company, my art company, is Tattoo Flash. So if I'm gonna do a video where I show you guys some of the stuff that I'm working on and some of the stuff I'm gonna do on my YouTube channel, I have to bring up my drawings, show some of my drawings, and talk to you guys about this, because I'm kind of trying to spoil an up-and-coming series. I spent this entire weekend basically drawing up a lesson plan. I've realized that I have a lot of skills that may never take me anywhere other than doing these videos, and I'm humble and modest. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with spending out the rest of my days traveling the country, meeting people, and doing artwork across the country and just making it about this channel. I do have way bigger hopes and dreams for my skills than that, but to be honest, I'm content with sharing it with you guys and just doing it as my hobby, as I've always done. But I've always found a way to make ends meet here and there using my skills, usually my construction skills, but at times I've made money off of my art. So that being said, this new series that I'm going to be doing, this is actually you can't read that, and I wouldn't recommend trying, because most of it's probably sorely misspelled. But this is the lesson plan here that I'm going to do. I'm going to transfer all of my drawing skills onto a series, or if I can squeeze it into one video, video of the basics on drawing. I cannot show you those papers right now because before I started recording this video, I tried to find them and failed. But I got four 2-part lessons planned on the basics of drawing. For those of you that wish that you could be more creative, I'm gonna start doing how-to art videos on this channel, starting with a lesson plan on the basics of drawing, and to show you guys that I'm not some amateur. I've been drawing since I was a little kid, and not doodling like little kids, but actual professional quality work since I was 12 at least. Braiding, drawing, sewing, clay, carving, woodwork. It's been my wheelhouse, so to speak, my entire life, to collect creative skills. So I may not have the schooling or qualifications to be a teacher, but I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes or break any rules. I'm just trying to share my knowledge out to those of you who wish there was somebody out there that can teach you. Being someone with learning disabilities, I understand how it is when people try to teach you something and you just can't get it because you need it brought to you in a specific way, and they just don't know how to talk to people like us. So for people like us, I will be bringing you guys a lesson to help you improve your skills, because I want everybody out there to tap into their inner light and their inner beauty. And for me, it's always had something to do with my creative side. It's the core of who I am. And the more I go not doing art projects and not being creative, the more I forget who I am and lose parts of me and become more miserable. So I kind of thrive on it. And some of you out there may just find out you will thrive more once you find your creative side. That being said, I'm going to show you guys. This is my portfolio. I've had this for a year, maybe over a year, maybe 2 years now. And I'm kind of ashamed of how not packed and full it is. But I do have some artwork in here. We give you guys a sampling of what kind of skills I've got to offer. I'm actually making this into a flag. It will not actually be fully like this, but it'll be very similar to this when it becomes a flag. That will also be a YouTube video. This is a recreation upon a recreation upon a recreation of the Tazz Flash Ink company logo. Back in 2009, 10, somewhere in there, I branded myself as Tazz Flash Uninked, and I have been putting everything that I've done artistically out as Tazz Flash Arts ever since. And when I did so, I made this as a company logo. And I've redone it over and over so many times. If you follow me on social media, you will have probably seen the different variations of it. I'm not too happy about the coloring job I did on this, but the lines are what's important, the concept behind it, that infinite love, that entanglement theory combined it together into one unison. And that being part of the Entangled Hearts collection, it's gonna appear that a lot of my artwork is just recreations of that, or variations of that, but you gotta read more into the meaning behind an artist's work, not just look at it at the surface and compare it to other pieces, because it might be somewhat similar to say this one, which is also part of the Entangled Heart collection, but this one is depicting the insanity involved in obsession of someone that is unrequited love. But being the artist that created that piece, I can tell you that's what that piece represents. That you shouldn't tie it in with this one. However, sometimes it is the case with me. I recreated this on this way, so one is feasible to go onto an arm, and one is feasible to go across the chest plate, or a tramp stamp, or somewhere else on the body that requires it to belong this way instead of long this way. And I just gotta show that again, because I'm actually really proud of that. It's kind of where I've been all too many times in my life, over people that I should have just known it would never happen. I've also expanded on the whole conjoined heart and community outreach, and came up with this piece. This is a recreation. The first version I have somewhere else, and it's actually got cobras, and they're facing forward, not facing each other. I like this version better. I think it flows so much better. This is about how you need to protect yourself when you have infinite love to give. That's this whole heart and infinity symbol. Represents infinite love whenever it pops up in any of my artwork. And this right here is what you call the Caduceus Staff. It represents healing and understanding, and I can go much more deeper into that, but I chose to do this to remind myself. Actually, this is a tattoo that I've designed for me. Eventually it's going on my leg, but yeah, on the back of my calf actually. I'm not quite sure if I'm ready for tattoo paint on my legs. I've got 3 tattoos now, and 1 failed one on my chest. And I'd much rather not have more ink on my body where I thought I could handle it and couldn't, and just have a partial tattoo there. It's gonna have to get finished someday. I'm gonna have to get loaded and sit in my buddy Andy's chair and just let him grind apart across my chest plate, because the message that goes there is more important than any other message that's come from my heart. And I'll leave that alone for now, because that's more of a Caduceus Monkey channel topic, but so is the concept behind this picture, which is why this picture has made it onto the Caduceus Monkey, Monkey Man Moonchild Instagram as a guru picture. It reminds me that I may have these urges to go out there and help people, but there is a certain line that I should never cross again. Many lines I should not cross over again. And it's because there are so many snakes out there in the grass, waiting to slither into your circle and pretend to be like you, so that they can benefit on all the resources that you have because of who you are. And it's kind of a reminder to protect my heart, to help people, but help people in a way it's safe for me. That the world is dangerous and not a non-violent place. And regardless of how much I want to be non-violent, does not mean people aren't going to find ways to take advantage of my heart for being who I am. And they have constantly in my life, ever since I took the vow of non-violence. So moving on. When I started drawing, there was something that helped me learn the basics better, and that was sceneries. An ocean ocean shore, fucking lake, some fish swimming around in a pond, kids playing on the playground, just any parts of life, sceneries in life that could bring a warm fuzzy feeling to me. That was what I was interested in at start. So when I do sceneries, they are very close to my heart, and usually a lot of subtext drawn into it. Subtext meaning behind the picture that you have to discover for yourself. This was my take on all the beauty I've experienced in Fort Collins, Colorado. Combined with their Flag C, I just feel the city part of this town, this state, can eat a giant bag of dicks. But up in them hills was much worth the visit and 3-4 year stay here. It was not a waste of time, because I got to see the real true beauty and majesty of this planet on levels I couldn't from Florida. And it's depicted here in this scenery. Which will eventually become a painting, which will be the second, if I do it next, it will be the second painting that I will have done. But there's this other project that I'm currently working on that's more than likely to become a painting first, which I will get to after I show what I've drawn on that project in this book, which is a little ways to go. This is a reminder to plant your roots, plant my roots, and blossom into my life, blossom into myself, to nurture the realist parts of me and help them grow into a bud of beauty for the world. And then to learn how to safely project that beauty out to the world in a way that reaches people. It's what I call blossoming into yourself. Now, this next one is a project I was doing for kind of sister of mine, Rebecca Denard. I don't know what she goes by now. She's got so many different variations of her name out there on Facebook, but I know her as Rebecca Denard or Nikki. So thank you again, Nikki, for the inspiration, pulling me on to recreating your tattoo, which I have not given up on what you actually asked me to do. I just have a whole bunch of other things going on, like videos and other artwork, as you could see if you watch this video. I've been pretty busy, so I will eventually bring you a finished product. I still have a few rough drafts to go through before I spoil any more to you. You didn't quite get a response on what you thought of the work that I sent you, so I kind of just left it alone with you until I can get things situated on a more complete state for you. But for the rest of y'all, this is part of a new series that I'm working on called Don't Fear the Reaper. This next piece is also part of that collection because the original piece had this with that embedded in the middle of it. But I really suck at drawing budded roses, so I changed the whole entire design to my artistic skills so that I can add it to my portfolio while I'm working off on the side in silence with the actual finished product for Nikki. But this is the separate piece that I got out of the project she has me doing. This also is part of my guru messages, guru art. Let love blossom. I had to learn that the hard way. I keep throwing myself at everybody I get the warm tingly feelings for, and before they even get a chance to even get to know who I am, they're already scared to be around me, like I'm going to become some sort of stalker or a serial killer in their life. And it's not. I'm just socially awkward, and even more so with women. One day I'll run across someone that actually is more on my level, but for now I just need to embrace me and blossom into me and create that full package that someday someone out there is going to see as their reward for all of what they've gone through, as much as I'm gonna see them as my reward. And more so than that, because it kind of, to some people, might sound a little shallow, a little ignorant or whatever, but it's not the case at all. It's part of the picture. I've been doing sun and moon artwork since I can remember, but I've kind of set a 2012 range where I started the Sun and Moon official collection. And I don't have any of those originals, so I've been recreating it over and over throughout years, and losing them and recreating and losing them because I keep trying to build a portfolio, and every time I get it and get all of my artwork into one place, it gets ruined, or it gets lost or stolen, or I get evicted and all my stuff is lost. So this is maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th attempt at building a portfolio. But this piece right here was one of the original versions of my Sun and Moon collection. It's the closest I've got to the original that I've done so far. And I have them making out because it depicts the balance in between the two. This planet would drop into darkness and freeze over without one or the other. And take it even more spiritual and philosophical than that, you cannot exist with a balance in this world without a balance of light and dark, because the dark makes us who we are, gives us character, teaches us what to stand by and who to stand behind, and the light teaches us forgiveness and love and helps us find direction in our life. So without a balance of the two, you're asking for trouble. So a lot of undertone in this. When I first put this picture out, I was still in middle school, maybe just going into high school, and all the kids made it a gay joke. Oh, the sun and moon both look masculine and you have them kissing, so what, are you gay? People want to crack jokes like that, but I won't let them demean the meaning behind my art like that. Even back then, I was a child like them, and I let them get on my nerves, and I got in trouble for screaming and yelling at them for bringing my artwork down, and I got put in detention, I guess you'd call it, but it was isolation unit for us. Art is subjective, and to an artist there's no greater insult than to take a well done piece of artwork that has gotten praised by practically everybody else, and you turn their artwork into a joke. Like, oh, are you gay? Do you fantasize of kissing dudes, and that's why your sun and moon looks like two dudes kissing in the sky? We all grow into ourselves in our own way. Not everybody's gonna be as open-minded to take the concept beyond the whole homosexual phobia end of things. You have to realize that even if that piece was about that, and I do support the LGBT community, so I do at times put things in my artwork to support homosexuality and transgenderism, because I made it important in my life to stand up for people who are being tyrannized. And these are people that are facing feats against the whole world most of the time, telling them that they're evil for what they do behind their bedroom door. It's none of your business. Let them live their life. You live your life. and quit worrying about who's gay and who's not. Again, this is wrong channel for this type of topic, but there it is. Like it, love it, hate it, unsubscribe. I'm not here to scratch everybody else's egos and please you and match your brain and your thought process and the way you think of things. I'm only here to present the real me and my views on the world, hoping to make a change away from that bigoted thought process that anyone's got the right to come down on someone for their sexuality or their religious belief. That's what this country was built on, was freedom to do as you please in these categories and to believe as you please. So if there's anything that I am about, is standing up for those sorts of rights. So if I do put some piece of artwork out there with two dudes making out, or a foursome, two chicks over here and two dudes over there, or something of that sort, I may, just to push that envelope and make people think about how closed-minded they really are. You can go to the gym and get into a locker room with tons of strange men that you've never met before and take a shower in a public building. But you can't look at a piece of artwork of a sun and moon kissing without making gay jokes. There's something seriously wrong with society today. That's all I'm saying. I personally have a real hard time going into a public shower setting like that. I've done it, but it makes me so uncomfortable. Way more uncomfortable than talking about sexuality publicly to people. I'm way more comfortable with that than being around a bunch of naked dudes that I've never met before. Or being in the same room knowing that someone's in that cubicle next to me, butt naked, a dude, and we're practically in the same room. It makes my skin crawl. But that's part of life. We gotta realize you can't just pick and choose what uncomfortable parts of life you're going to deal with. You either deal with some of it or you deal with none of it. Go live in a cave. Yabba dabba do your ass the hell out of here. Because this is not the channel for closed-mindedness. This is a channel for spiritual unity. Like this picture here, which I call spiritual unity. It depicts so many different things for me. As a matter of fact, I've got a version of it right there. This is the original version of my art piece called Spiritual Unity. And it talks about the light and dark in the universe. It talks about unity, unifying all races, because all races have a piece of the puzzle and we're all supposed to be working together, bringing a piece of the puzzle together so that we can all survive together, not divided into, not that I believe in one world unity, because that's apocalyptic speaking stuff there. That would be like me trying to bring on the apocalypse. But I still believe that we should all work together and bring what we've got to the fold and bring back the barter system, really. because this whole currency thing is what's the toxin in the world that's poisoning us to death. It will be our undoing. When every country is spending the same currency, there's no turning back. So, world peace. And spirituality doesn't have to be about what your spirituality is. You can embrace and understand and stand firm in your beliefs, either religiously, which I don't believe in organized religion, I believe in spirituality, and that who's to say all the religions of light out there don't have a piece of the puzzle of the truth. And all of us are wrong because we've secularly picked one belief, one perception that only holds a fragment of the truth. So I personally seek the world for pieces of light to make my own truth. Because heaven or hell, Hades, underworld, atheism, whatever. When it all boils down to it, it all matters. The only thing that actually matters is what you did when you're here. Do you go through life walking on the backs of others to get where you are? Did you go through life making people feel awkward about who they are because you disagree with what they believe? Did you go through life tyrannizing everybody around you to conform to what you think? It's not about conformity. It's about living your truth and not forcing your truth on others. And on that note, again, wrong channel for this topic. This is another one that's not for this channel. I'm not going to get into the meaning of this because it seems like I cannot talk about these pictures that belong on the other channel without getting an emotional state and prolonging the conversation on that topic more than I'm meaning to. Same thing with this one. This is the Caduceus Monkey. Or one variation of him. He's kind of the icon / mascot of the Caduceus Monkey channel. Or going to be. This is an album cover for the collection, Entangled Hearts collection. This is another variation of a company logo for Tazz Flash Arts. this is kind of the mascot for this channel. It's a Juggalo Jester self-portrait of moi. Now, the chest plate tattoo I was talking about earlier, this is why I held off on saying anything on it. Because it actually has the words, but not the picture that goes with the words that's actually going on my chest. It was supposed to be my hatchet man, which is too far up on my arm to pull the sleeve up that high. But there's the original sketch for my hatchet man that is on my arm. It's supposed to have that hatchet man in the center of my chest with these words wrapped around it, kind of like club logo banners. Live to love. I can't read my own stuff backwards. Live to love, not to hate. Fight for peace. Don't fight for war. Live your own light. That last part, I gotta thank Brother Ali for that. He's a music artist that does kind of guru twist to his rap, and it's not all generally rap, but it's kind of all got that feel. I discovered him here on YouTube because I frequently watch YouTube artists, music that post artists that post music on YouTube, a lot of music videos, and I like to keep up with everything, every category. So because I was watching last year, I was going through a lot, and around the time I stopped posting videos, and I needed to adjust my mindset, so I started watching a lot of videos of actual gurus speaking and doing lectures, and Brother Ali showed up as one of the suggestions, and I clicked on this video called Own Light, and it helped me realize that I'm struggling because I don't recognize my own light. I didn't even get the concept or know about the concept at the time, but I was snuffing it out by not even knowing it's there, not embracing it. And that song opened that up for me, which later evolved into the epiphany that I have the inner light of a guru, and the more I try to fight that in my life, the harder my life goes. So that song kind of helped me move towards the realization that I need to be working towards being a guru. So go out there and check it out, y'all. Brother Ali, Own Light. There's a lot of other music that he does. He can get a little political, talking out against Uncle Sam and other things, but guaranteed, regardless of what song you click on, it's gonna have some heavy meaning behind it. it does not seem this guy puts out just any old song. He's got a cause, a meaning, and it's not just wasted on, yo, what up my pimps and hoes? No. It's rap. Some of you may not like rap, but it changes the whole entire concept of what rap can be in my eyes. It sent me on a search looking for rappers that speak of a guru tongue. Which led me to discovering Kid Lennon. That's the kid's name. White boy with dreads, skinny as hell. I'm guessing, I've actually not guessing, I've actually looked it up, but I don't remember a whole lot of details, so I'm gonna say guessing. So if any of the details are wrong and you guys look it up yourself, I'm not lying, but I know for a fact he's related to John Lennon. At least that's what all my research online has shown. And I actually had pulled up an article on who his mom is, and I don't want to say it's Yoko, but I'm pretty sure that he is related to Yoko's family. That is the guessing part. But he's not like a son to Lennon. He's like a nephew or a distant third cousin or something like that. I don't really know how all that works. Anyways, back to the mission. This is a recreation of the original Entangled Heart piece. The first piece that I ever put out that inspired me to keep on putting out Entangled Heart pictures, which eventually I named the entire series, the entire collection I mean, after this piece, the Entangled Heart. Which was created, the original was created years before 2010. I just can't remember how early that was that I created the original. So that recreation date is based on a recreation I did in 2016. But the artwork itself is based off of the original. I am trying to branch. Well, a lot of my artwork has always been kind of childlike, but it is geared more towards tattoo flash, towards being sold to tattoo shops to put on people's skin. Though I keep somewhat of a cartoony look with all of my artwork, even when I'm doing something serious. Majority of my artwork is designed for the tattoo shops. When I finish my portfolio, I intend on getting ink done, not just walking into tattoo shops across the country and trying to sell them artwork. But going in there and establishing connections with these people and getting ink done so I can advertise them as much as I'm going to ask them to do for me. by buying my artwork and putting it on their wall for people to be able to pick and buy to put on their skin. You know, I'll get the one payment for it. They get to use it for life. And I pay them once for a piece of artwork on my skin, and I get to use it for life. That's the trade-off there. The beauty of the whole thing. My name gets out there as an artist. They make their money, and at the moment when I'm making that deal, I'm making my money, which, if I'm wise, and usually I do, turn around and take the money that I make off of my art and put it into my art, nothing else. Maybe go buy a pack of cigarettes and a soda, but 99.9% of what I make off of my art goes into supplies to do more art. And recently I wanted to start a child line of art, so that maybe I can reel in a mural for a daycare or something type job, a large project. So this next piece is built around that. It's to show parents and adults that I can do child-friendly art, that I can be hired on to paint their kid's bedroom or their business to be more child-friendly. You know, maybe sew some costumes for a play or something. So that's what this is, me trying to open an advertisement line that may bring in more youthful fans of my art. Not clientele, but fans. Fans that will grow into an age to eventually need me to paint their kid's nursery or whatever. Hopeful thinking. I think it is wise business strategy to look at all avenues that your work can benefit and can thrive in, and find angles to reach that demographic. Being a grown-up well into his 30s, I'm not trying to go out there and reach out to kids that is suspect as hell. I'm trying to reach out to the parents. So anybody out there that's going to try and make this whole topic sound weird or pedophilic, don't try me. Alright? Don't go there. Alright? This is professional level interest in kids. This is why I don't generally do things involving kids in my business, because I'm not a professional. I do not have degrees in psychology and kid whatever. Alright? I do not have a clean mouth. I do not know how to not cuss around kids. It just comes out even more so because I'm nervous of being around kids. So realistically, I am just looking for the professional end of putting my artwork out there. Preferably not to be around kids at all. Another one towards my Sun and Moon collection. This is a recreation of a 2010 that was recreated in 2016. and part of the original Sun and Moon collection. Just it's not exactly anything like the original, so it's not technically a recreation of the original piece. It's a recreation of the 2016 version. Can you go out there and let him know I'm recording? He's pulling up right now. Right, perfect time, hey, I'm fucking recording. Thank you. And that moon picture was inspired by a love that I don't really talk much to people about, because I'm not old enough to be an Elvis fan, apparently. I'm 35 years old, and apparently that makes me too young to be an Elvis fan. But I've always, since I was like 8 years old, even younger, loved Elvis. I used to sing Blue Moon in the freaking bathtub growing up. Alright? There used to be a tape that I destroyed because into my teen years, my sisters wanted to use it to humiliate me. So I destroyed it. But there used to be a VHS tape of home recording of me in the bathtub with all kinds of suds all over the place, and a rubber ducky singing that song, and my grandpa walks into the freaking bathroom and gets it on tape, and little naked me runs out the fucking bathroom and runs away. And so there was when I was growing up, there was an Animaniacs episode where they had the Singing Moon character, and he kind of had the swagger and voice of Elvis Presley, and he had to he looked like as if Elvis Presley was a crescent moon. So that is what this is. It's my take on an Elvis character, cartoon character, Moon. That was when he was younger, and that was when he was older. Of course, he wasn't ever really looking like that. I was just fat guy, kind of look. He really doesn't look much like Elvis. He looks more like Homer Simpson, with flaming hair. But anyways, these two are part of the same. This one goes with this one. I wanted to take the one where they're kissing, and I wanted to separate them as their own two separate characters. So like if someone wanted one on one arm and one on the other arm, and one of them kissing on their chest. No, just hypothetical theory on that one. Okay, now this is what I've been waiting to run into so I could show you guys this. I've actually shown you guys this before. Remember this? It's part of the Dramatic Life Expressions collection that I'm working on. It's done up like this because it's just a composite sketch. It's for when I get a piece of canvas that I could actually paint and get all the materials I need to paint again. it's the sketch that gets done onto the canvas so that I can paint the picture on there. And that one deals with a very heavy premise involving homeless life and tyranny on from snooty people in the community that look down on the homeless. It's a very preachy political statement on that picture. I'm kind of recreating that as more of a happy scene, kind of a club hangout lodge, like an elk lodge type hangout scenery. And I also tried to display my true skills in 3D drawing. 3D, I wouldn't call it animation because I have never actually gotten to that point yet, but I am building to do a few cartoons of my own down the road. But this is a piece that I'm working on. I'm thinking about calling it the Caduceus Night Lodge. The Caduceus Knights Lodge. I'm also kind of working on a book/movie. Just out of curiosity, if I have the capacity to write on that level. I'm trying to do a movie, and it's called I gotta look up where in my actual script I'm writing what it's called, but it's based around this club, a fictional club that has hints of the club that I'm in real life. Scenarios that have gone down, types of people in the club, and then thrown in other things that actually happen in actual MC clubs and other, I guess you call it gang life, whatever. I've been around a lot of different types of lives, and to make it more realistic, I have kind of written a character for every type of person I've ever come across into this movie. And so this is the first piece of artwork I'm doing for the book/movie. Kind of trying to figure out, put myself in the mind state, their surroundings, their lifestyle, and trying to develop it into something original. To do so, I'm gonna do a series of paintings that depict the Caduceus Knights in their everyday life. And this is the first piece towards that goal. And when I flip the page up, it's literally the other side over here. So picture it attaching to this side of the picture and continuing this way. That's literally the other side of the building of their actual lodge. And then there'll be a third picture that I haven't started yet, with kind of an open gated field in which they work on their bikes and kind of like a outdoor hangout area. Excuse me. $4,000. Why would somebody pay that much? God. I mean, I think there's people on Facebook that something like. Anyways, I really wish I knew where that lesson plan was. I would actually do a drawing lesson video today, but as it is right now, I'm about 15 minutes shy of a 2-hour video, probably the longest video I've ever recorded, where it's actually me just sitting here talking. So I'm going to go ahead and enter into the end of this video here. It's been a pleasure kicking back and talking with y'all today, showing y'all what I've been up to and what's to come for this channel. I apologize at any point during this video if I rambled off and left any loose ends and topics or whatever. It's just the way my brain works. And on that note, this was Tazz Flash. Peace, love, and dope. Peace out, y'all.